So I'm gonna go over a little rant before I get into the video. First of all, I was studying and I was reading some things, and I read that the whole thing about your knees over your toes is true. If you're being told, like if you're trying to teach like a whole group of people, yeah, the rule of thumb is never squat and have your knees go over your toes. But everybody's different. Everybody has longer limbs or shorter limbs or whatnot. So basically, the rule of thumb that we're going to go over today is to keep your knee aligned with your second toe and your ankle. So it's kind of hard for you to think that if you're a beginner and just starting the squat. But we're going to work on the first movement of the squat, which should be to move your hips backwards, which is called a hinge of the hips. So basically, in normal people terms, it's going to be you want to sit your butt back. You want to envision when you get into the squat rack that you are going to fall on your ass, because literally your ass is what's pushing you up from the squat. So the first range of motion, the first movement that you should do during your squat is to hinge your hips backwards. So move your hips backwards. That's it, nothing else. It should be falling back. So we're going to go over some exercises and some little things you can do to practice just getting used to the feeling of falling backwards into your hips so that you can squat correctly. So the first thing I'm showing you guys is you want to get into a parallel stance and you want to have your feet and shoulders squared. And all we're gonna do right now is just practice a body weight squat. I'm holding the stick. This is like a broomstick or a mop stick or something. Any kind of stick will work for this. It just helps you practice sitting back into your butt and getting used to just doing body weight squats correctly with more depth. And right now, this is a side view, but basically all I'm doing here is practicing my hip hinge. Basically, the first thing I'm thinking about is pushing my butt backwards. Like, it looks funny, but I'm literally just thinking, once I get under the bar when I'm about to squat, I think about planting my heels and pushing my butt back, like almost like I'm going to fall backwards. It's harder to do without weight because for some reason, when you have more weight on and you get to the bottom, the weight pushing you down will keep you from falling actually on your butt. So, and these ones I'm doing right here, it looks like I'm gonna really fall, and that's how you should feel. And you'll create more balance the more you practice on your heels, because when you squat, you really want to, the weight should be more on your heels than anything, and you want to be pressing your legs outward. Your knees never want to go in. Another great machine to use to practice sitting lower into your squat is the Smith machine, because you can put your feet more forward and you won't really fall. I could say you can practice just hinging your hips and work on strengthening your butt muscles, pushing out the side of your legs and feeling the ground with your hips. I mean your heels, not your hips. Feeling the ground with your heels. So that's what I'm doing here. So one of the things I do, like for me, I don't say you have to do this, but this helps me remember to fall backwards and feel the ground with my heels and push out with my knees, is when I first step under the bar, I do like this little thing right here. I sit in there and I feel the ground, like I'm actually feeling my butt activate when I do that. And then I get under the bar and then I start squatting. All right, and then last this is a side view of practicing on a Smith machine and how you can have your feet way out in front of you to practice sitting back into your heels and falling back with your hips. And you don't want to be this forward, like if you're doing a real squat, it's impossible because you literally drop the weight. But on a Smith machine, you can practice this.